How we doing? A little under a year removed from when we started this thing. Man, this is crazy to be back. We took a little bit of a break. For those of you tuning back in, we appreciate it. For the new viewers, welcome. This is the Proper MMA Podcast. My name's Stavs. This is Benny Mitch. And we got some fights to talk about with you guys, man. What a card it was last weekend. A little bit of a sleeper. I feel like not a lot of people tuned into it. Blachowicz versus Rakic. A little underwhelming main event that we had, finishing in an unfortunate injury, but a pretty good main card, man. What'd you think?
Honestly, the last three, I don't know, I would say, honestly, the whole main card actually was pretty good. I would say the prelims were soft, for sure.
We kind of expected that.
Let's talk about real quick how soft the UFC prelims have been so far. If it's not a pay-per-view,
it's not a pay-per-view, man. Sometimes I wish they did a little less events, to be honest with you.
Right? To try and keep the skill gap and keep the skill level up of these fights.
I think honestly, I think there is too many fighters on the roster.
Absolutely.
To the point where when you're looking at those bottom 500-600 fighters, we're like, some of these guys do not belong here.
And we've seen the UFC release some decent guys lately.
Oh, dude. Bruno Souza,
the guy who fight Terrence McKinney, Fariziem. Yeah.
These are good guys. They're getting released, but
it's not UFC caliber at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, those guys are gonna go fight in some other promotion, and hopefully they can scratch their way back here.
Absolutely.
I personally think Bruno Souza won his last fight. He would have been 1-1.
We watched it live.
Yeah, we were there live.
We watched it live in Columbus.
Yeah, that was a good card.
That was
a good card. We took our first loss on the first card we went to. That was tough, but we bounced back. I went to UFC 273 in Jacksonville to watch Volkanovski, Korean Zombie, and we almost got the full card sweep, so it made up for that.
Can we just clarify who you met? UFC 273.
Who didn't I meet, brother?
This guy went down with his dad and managed to stay in the same hotel as all the fighters.
Yeah, we stayed at the fighter hotel.
And I'll let you take the floor from here because I was just getting fed pictures and I was kind of pissed off.
So right when I got there, I saw So we pulled up. We're staying at the Hyatt in Jacksonville, which is right near the ViaStar Arena, like 5-minute walk. And right when I get there, I see Rodriguez getting filmed around with the embedded crew, and I had no idea we were staying at this hotel. Like my dad just booked it, whatever. I got the tickets for the fights. He got the hotel, and I show up. I'm like, damn, like we're in the fighter hotel, and he's like, oh yeah, like
realized real quick.
Yeah, I realized real quick.
All these cameras, embedded series going by. You're like, whoa, what's going on?
Oh, for real, man. So we check in. I go up to the elevator there, and right when I get out on my floor, I see Volkanovski, and I'm just stunned. Right, I'm stunned. So we get out, and we're like, holy shit, like that's the champ.
I just took an elevator ride with the champ.
Yeah, exactly. So we start talking to him, whatever. He's looking for the gym. We go up to the gym, whatever, and we see a bunch more fighters. But man, I think I met almost every fighter on the card, like Matt Burns, Chimaev, ended up meeting Dana White, Bruce, like everyone was there just chilling. Everyone was really, really cool. No complaints about that. It was probably
that's an unreal experience.
It's probably the coolest experience of my life, man.
I was sitting in my apartment in Vancouver going to online class, and you're sending me pictures.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira.
Charles.
Kamzat Chimaev. Darren Till.
Yep.
Dana White. I'm like, Katie,
I know.
I'm about to fly out right now. Like, I don't care how much I'm breaking the bank. That's worth it in my mind. But
I ended up meeting 3 champs. I met Sterling. I met obviously Volkanovski, and then still
that's a hot topic right now. Let's jump into that one because I know we've been talking about this since he defeated Gaethje. If you guys slept on Gaethje or slept on Charles,
you're crazy, man.
You can't doubt this man anymore. You can't doubt this man.
Well, hey, we'll be honest, man. The weigh-in worried us.
But at the end of the day, we turned to each other and said an hour after we let it settle. Let it settle in. We're like, okay. That's what's happening. At the end of the day, for a guy who missed weight in a fight, he did not look that bad.
No, everyone was talking about, he looks sucked back.
He looks tired.
I didn't think he looked that like the first time on the scale, he definitely didn't look bad.
No.
Obviously an hour later when...
I don't think he did anything though, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was smart of him. If they're going to strip him of his belt regardless, why kill yourself an extra hour to shed to maybe shed a 0.5.
I know. He was saying he did go into the steam room, try to get a sweat on, but I feel like at that point, like, your sweat's done.
Your sweat's done. You got to get the sweat back, and then start losing. It's that takes an hour to get the sweat back. You know? Like
that type of sweat. Yeah, man, it's tough. So.
No, but let's talk about the scale real quick, because there's all this controversy of the scale, and you know whether this was the right scale, and if the fighters are messing around with the scales.
Calibrated.
Oh, and whether Dana White's excuse, how about saying all these fighters from the UK,
from Europe are just switching it over to kg.
Switch kg, so it messes with the scale. It shouldn't matter, man. It's a setting on the scale. It shouldn't matter. That's just a Dana White excuse. He doesn't really know what to say.
No, but in my opinion, regardless, we had 3 people make championship weight.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Charles has got to figure the weight out.
Yep.
Whether the scale was off, whether Charles was off.
Yep. He was saying Thursday night he went to bed 156. 156.
155.
156, 155. Didn't eat nothing. Didn't eat, drink nothing. Woke up, and I think that's when he was 156. He gained a pound out of nowhere, and he was like, whoa, I'm kind of stunned.
Yeah, it just all didn't make sense.
It still didn't make sense, and especially, you bring out the curtain,
you take your clothes off.
You lose the shorts, and you're telling me you weigh the same? The shorts
and we
are
just
0.5,
saw it this weekend.
So that's where I was going with this.
We just saw it this weekend.
That's where I was going with this. Carlos Candelario fought on the Japanese 21-year-old Tara.
Yeah.
And shows up to the scale 127. Misses by a lot. Misses by 2 pounds. The fight was scheduled at 125. He
needs to weigh in at 126.
So this was all a rec scene. So weigh-in started at 12. And the rule is you have 2 hours. So it went till 2.
2 hours to get onto the stage.
It went till 2, right? Yeah. So we're watching the stream, waiting for this guy to weigh in. It's about 2:15, and we're like, oh, like this fight's been scrapped before. Off. It might be off, like a bad weight cut. The guy missed by 2 pounds. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, it's like 2:15. He's weighing in like behind the octagon, and MMA Junkie's trying to like film a corner of it while it's going down.
Yeah, that was a joke.
And next thing you know, 125. Like.
Yeah, but like the big thing for me was they pulled the curtain out the first time. And so he weighs in 127.
Yeah.
He takes, obviously, his underwear and his shorts off. He's not wearing a shirt to begin with.
Yep.
Now he's 126 and a half. So how does that half pound, how does it go down there? But when Charles takes his shorts and underwear off in Phoenix, the weight doesn't change. So, that to me makes zero sense.
I had a weird feeling about the guy who was doing weigh-ins.
Yeah, he's being a stickler, man.
He was being a stickler because the heavyweights were getting on the scale, and it was like, I'm not kidding you, it was like 2.5 minutes for him to get the weight.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that guy before, and it's always the older guy that does the UFC Apex. He's always like, yep, bang on, we're good. And it's just like this guy, I don't know what he was thinking or who he talked to or what he was trying. Maybe it was all the pressure, big pay-per-view card, first time in the camera and on the scale.
Yeah,
I don't know what was going on, but
I don't know who the guy was that was doing the weight.
Yeah, we've never seen him, and it was all weird. It was all weird.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a championship fight.
Yeah.
I know if I'm the guy on the scale and I see someone say the championship weight is 155 like it was.
Yeah.
Someone weighs in 155.3.
It's 155.
It's 155. The fight's on. Let's go. It's official.
Championship fight.
Yeah. Come on.
Guy cut weight. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that brings us to our next topic. Habib or Charles? I know that's been thrown around.
I know.
Dude,
I've been hearing it a lot.
A lot, man.
I know my take might be a little different than yours, but
yeah.
We're talking about Habib Nurmagomedov, arguably the lightweight GOAT. And the thing is, for me, is this man is someone who stepped into a cage 29 times and never got damage whatsoever. He was never cut open. He was never rocked.
Never knocked down.
He was never, you never saw him with a black eye.
No.
Nothing. Like, minimal damage. And in my opinion, that is the big separation gap between Charles. Like, we see Charles get dropped, two or three times in the first round of every fight.
But I think that's also part of his game plan.
He's got to get hit to wake up, I guess, man. I don't know what it is.
But he also, like, I remember in the Gaethje fight, the second time he got knocked down, he did.
Well, he pulled guard.
He pulled guard.
Yeah, he got stunned. He's
like, come into my guard. But
it looked like he got knocked down live.
It did.
Yeah, but in the replay, you can tell. He shifts the weight onto the heels and he falls back.
Yeah, he falls back. But it's an interesting clash of styles, man, in that fight.
Oh, it'd be a beautiful fight. I wish we could see it, but guess what? We're gonna see something very similar with the Islam fight if that ends up coming to fruition.
That's the beauty of all of this.
I know.
It's not like you're never gonna see that fight. You're gonna see
what could be.
I was just gonna say what could be a carbon copy of that fight, and I think it's awesome. I personally, right now, where Charles is, if they were to fight today and Khabib have a full training camp, got back in shape, whatever.
Yeah.
It's either a first or second round sub or a Habib smash and ground and pound. It's one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see if Islam, you know, obviously he's gonna take him down. He's gonna, obviously. But I want to see how much he is willing to play in his guard, how much he's willing to pass, what offensively Islam is going to do to Charles, and what defensively Charles is going to do. Because I know, like, we both know Charles is going to be on his back very early in that fight, absolutely. And he's fine with that.
That's
and
the problem.
Fine with that. So
jiu-jitsu guys are sometimes a little too happy off their back, but in Charles' case, you just can't say that.
Or do we see a stand and bang fight because there's two grapplers going at it? Who knows? I give that to Charles.
And I was going to say, in that case, I'm going Charles. People sleep on these guys' hands. Yeah.
Regardless, I'm going to be betting on Charles in that fight.
Yeah.
But
huge Charles fans.
Oh, and I think he's like a plus 270 dog.
Oh, if he's a dog, he's getting hammered.
Yeah, he's a huge dog.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. So, we're looking at that. I give it, right now I'd give it to Charles, but there is not a doubt in my mind, that is the sweatiest bet. Out of all of them, like the Poirier one, I had so much faith in Charles. And guess what?
You're not even hitting Charles' money line. You're hitting Charles by finish.
Every time.
Every time, man. This guy in 5 rounds. You're gonna give this man 5 rounds to lock up any submission he wants, or to drop you on the feet. Like, bro, I've never seen Gaethje hit the canvas like that. And he fought McGregor, Poirier.
Gaethje hasn't fought McGregor yet, but that's a fight that should. I know you're thinking about Chandler probably, right?
Chandler.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a bunch of guys, but like he's been
Tony.
He's been in firefights, and I've never seen that guy been dropped like that on his ass.
Yeah, no, he was on his ass. He was rocked. That was a great fight. But let's move on to this weekend's card. We had a pretty good one, man. The main card gets kicked off with Jake Hadley and Nascimento.
So
very interesting fight.
Early on in the week, we were liking Nascimento a lot. Speaking of Charles, Charles, they have a really close connection.
Shootbox, Diego Lima camp.
Yep, Alan Nascimento helped Charles cut weight for his fight. Was in Phoenix for his fight. Was really a brother to him. I think he came out and said like this guy's family, to the point where Charles stayed in the U.S. for another week and a half to help Nascimento cut weight, train, and even after fight night, I love that, man. Like that is champ style.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been in the States for quite some time. This guy, all he does is care about fighting. I love it. This guy is a brawler. Probably one of the coolest guys that I met when I was at 273. Talked to this guy for like 15 minutes, even though he doesn't speak a lot of English, going through his translator.
Dad, eh?
Oh, man. So we see this guy, we see Charles, we're coming out of our room. I guess he's staying on the same floor, and they're just chilling in the hallway. And I see him, I'm like, oh my God, that's Duke Bronx, right? And we go up, and he's excited that we recognize him. Yeah. And my dad goes right up to him, and he starts rubbing Charles's head. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, it was hilarious. And Charles is laughing and stuff. And my dad's going, "What happened to the hair? Like, why is it not blonde? Whatever."
Where's the blonde hair?
Yeah. And his trainer just goes, "Oh, it's just for the fights. We only do that for the fights, and then we shave it off or whatever." But that was probably the coolest, craziest experience of my life talking to this guy for 15 minutes. And let me tell you, he is huge. Oh, he was weighing in like. I'm standing beside him there, and I got a picture. We might just throw it up here, but I weigh 185 pounds. Like that's my cruising weight.
Around that,
And this guy's maybe an inch taller than me, and I'm telling you, he's probably the same weight. A month out.
Same weight, and he's lengthy too.
Oh yeah, he's long.
For a 55er,
he's long, man.
And you also met Gilbert Burns.
Yeah. And he was a 70er, and
you were bigger than Gilbert Burns.
Much bigger,
and he's a 70er.
Much bigger,
which is kind of scary.
Well, it just kind of goes to show you, like, cutting weight, like you pick your poison, right?
Yeah, you're either a smaller guy fighting bigger guys, or you kill yourself cutting weight. To be the bigger guy.
Or you're shedding a lot to be that guy. So
I don't know what I would do.
Shemaev,
I don't think I could.
Huge.
Oh,
brother, that guy was huge.
You told me, you sent me a picture of yourself with that guy.
Yeah.
And you were like, man, like, he's the only guy that kind of gave me killer vibes.
He was the only guy that intimidated me.
You were like hesitant to, hey man.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, I went up to him with caution. Everyone else, it was easy money, but I'll tell you, that guy was the only guy that genuinely, like, scared me.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. He was an awesome guy, dude. He was so nice, too. Like, very nice.
My right hand will crush the mountains.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
I know. That guy's crazy, man.
That guy's crazy, bro.
That guy's crazy.
But anyway, going back
to the Nascimento fight, we ended up sending this guy out as a live dog. We had
about a minute and a half into the first round, yeah.
Yeah, about a minute, yeah. So right away, when Nascimento gets top control, it was kind of flipping back and forth. It was a great grappling match, but right when we saw Nascimento kind of secure that top control against Hadley, and it looked like Hadley was comfortable sitting on his back, we're like, yeah, Nascimento, we're going to send him out. We picked Hadley on full card picks, but Nascimento just impressed us. We knew it was a 50-50 fight. The odds did not represent it. Like, you caught it at a 370. 320. I ended up catching it at like a 190 split line, which was all right.
Which is still good. Like,
still great, yeah.
Still good. I think he won every round outside of the second. I can't remember what the scorecards were, but
I can't remember now.
He won handedly.
It was a great fight with that. But moving on, Manuel Torres, our bonus pick for the card, goes against Frank the Crank.
And wow, what a debut. This guy has lightning fast hands.
Dude, what a fight.
He's huge for the division.
Yeah, he's massive.
He's huge for the division.
Massive.
And great fight. We had Manuel Torres as our bonus pick. Mainly because Frank Camacho, I was doing film on him early in the week, and he's not orthodox. He keeps his left leg out there, doesn't switch stances, and all his finishes have come from the opponent's left side, his right side. So we noticed that in film, and we're like, man, guess who has a great left jab? Torres.
Yeah.
Bonus pick. UFC debut, so it wasn't comfortable enough for us to throw it in a log. It was debatable. Yeah,
that's the thing with debuts now, man.
But
it's
UFC
tough.
Debuts they've been proven to hurt us on.
Oh yeah, they've hurt us a few times where we could get a full card sweep and we could be up big money, and now we're just up good money because a UFC debut screwed it. But
and talk about Frank Camacho, one of the weirdest interviews.
Pre-fight interviews, man, that was weird.
Weird, man. He was
even the weigh-ins. It was all weird.
It was all so like when I'm watching tape and I'm watching interviews and when I'm watching like your Instagrams and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like that killer instinct, like motivation to get in there, get a finish. Yeah. Like that's what you want to see as a betting side, right?
Yeah.
How many times in his interview did he say, "Man, I'm just thankful to be here"?
Oh, too many times for me.
I'm grateful to just be here. Like, if a fighter keeps. I said to Anthony, I'm like, man, if he says it one more time, I'll believe you.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones, man, It's just like, so anyway, tough fight for him. I don't see him getting too far in the UFC. Maybe he has one more contract or one more fight on his contract. Maybe. I don't know. That'll be interesting to see if he gets snapped. I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC says, see you later. To me, he
didn't look bad, though. He actually didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad, but his striking defense needs work, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's no doubt about that.
He's just sitting here and just boom.
At least he didn't get sparked in 30 seconds like his last fight, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's still first round finish.
Still first round finish, but.
Yeah. But anyway, Manuel Torres keeps the first round finish alive. First round finish streak alive.
Yeah.
But moving on. Second proper lock. Caitlyn Chukagian against Amanda Ebasson. To us all week, Caitlyn Chukagian was a lock, man.
Yeah.
And.
Let me tell you, this was a hell of a lot closer fight than we thought,
hell of a lot closer. So, I will tell you, I didn't think this was going to be split decision. When I heard it was split decision, when I heard go Bruce, someone scores a contest 29-28. I'm like, oh.
And it goes Rebas first, and I'm like,
yeah. So if you guys don't know, in most split decisions,
whoever they
call first usually wins, and we're like, no, don't do this to us. And we also sent out Chukagian by decision for a little dog money as well, which cashes. I think she won 2 rounds pretty handedly. She smoked her on the feet. She outclassed her.
I didn't think it was even close.
Oh,
it was the ground control time.
It was the ground control time, and at the end of the day, you can't take ground control time over someone like over that amount of damage, you know? Like,
yeah, in my opinion, Chukagian would have had to be put in some serious submission threats to give this to Rebaz. I thought Rebaz actually fought really good.
She did.
I like her at this weight. I like her at flyweight. So
I will agree with you on that one. I like her at flyweight, but she needs to get rid of the herky jerky up here in the stand.
Yeah, she's wasting a lot of energy.
She's wasting a lot of energy, and you can't like you just can't defend yourself when your hands are going everywhere, right? Like, I get the timing, like it's great to time it, but for defensive wise, it's not it. So when I was seeing that, I was like, yeah, and I saw it. I was like, in the first round, I was like, yeah. All Caitlyn needs to do is a 1-2 right down the middle.
And that's all she did.
1-2, and that's all she did, bro.
Yeah, and she looked great, man.
She looked great. But moving on to the people's main event.
Yeah, this was a banger. We knew this was going to be a banger.
Hey, and everyone had Davy Grant as lock of the card. Let me tell you, it was not a lock of the card.
Not a lock of the card. Smoka comes out in the second round after getting beat up bad, where we saw him get dropped twice in the first.
Yep.
Comes out in the second round. Arguably dominated it. Like, there's no question about it. It goes to Smoka in the second round.
Can we just talk about how great Smoka looked before on the scales?
He looked great.
He looked like a completely different person, to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm riding Smoka. Like, give me that dog money, and against the guy Davy Grant, who always finds himself in wars every time. And sure enough, it was another war.
100%.
And I don't guarantee you, but I guarantee you that if his leg doesn't give out on him in the third,
if he checked more kicks,
it's a close fight.
If he checked more kicks, it was going his way.
He was a favorite.
He was a favorite going.
It was a 166 favorite going into the third round, and it was going to be a parlay buster.
It was going to be
just like Nick Maximov.
Yeah.
Nick Diaz. Okay, everybody.
Yeah.
Goes to co-maining events to opening prelims. Okay.
And gets sub first round, but we won't talk about that. No. Man, Davy Grant not the lock of the card, but ends up getting a good finish.
Good finish. At the end of the day, I'd love to see Smolka get back in there against a guy who's outside the top 15.
Yeah.
I think you see him bounce back with a win. I think they're gonna feed him like a UFC debut kind of guy, and if he stays in the shape that he showed up in, he's gonna have a decent career. I don't know how old he is. I'm unsure, but I think he's relatively young.
I think he's like 33, man.
Let's see. Real quick here. 30.
He's 30 years old, so he's still young.
He's still young.
His chin is, not
his
as good as
okay. His chin's okay, but for us it was a scrambling. Like, the scrambles that we saw in the first and second, like, that was pretty impressive, and that's the side of his game that we love. We love to see that.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Anyway, moving on. We got the Superman taking on the Hulk. And guess what? Superman always wins, baby.
Yeah, Superman gets it done, man. First round submission.
Yeah. Crazy
2 minutes and 22 seconds into the first round. It was beautiful.
It was one of those ones where, get me out. You saw Cuda Ball, like, tap, like, get me out, or you're going to... I think you're going to crank his neck. Like, it's one of those ones, like, okay, get off. Like, it 100%. Probably shows up when 215, 220. Like, the guy, Ryan Spann is... huge.
Oh yeah, he's 225
6'5",
coming into the cage.
6'5" at 205.
Yeah,
and he's thick too. Like,
I'd say he puts on easy 15 pounds after wins.
Yeah, and honestly, guys,
maybe more.
Honestly, guys, this was kind of an easy underdog decision for us.
I know. I wish we sent it out as an underdog.
We sent it out as an underdog play, but we knew he could get wrestled.
Yeah, we thought he was probably going to put on his back more. But he looked great.
But we kind of slept on the fact that Cutabala has no fight IQ. None. Fight IQ went out the window, bro.
Who do you give Ryan Spann? Like, who do you think his next opponent should be?
I'm going to say Jamal Hill. Jamal's Sweet Dreams.
Yeah, I think that is a great matchup.
Because I would love to see that fight. I know everyone listening, everyone who's a fan of the UFC would love to see that fight.
Tell me about it, man. I love that fight.
Me too. Me too. I think that's the fight you make.
Yeah, I think you main event that at the Apex.
Yeah, Jamal Hill's going to be a huge favorite, rightfully so. But it's one of those ones where the only thing I'll be touching is not to go the distance.
yeah. At
the end of the day,
I would touch Hill by finish.
Yeah.
But also Spann is a durable guy.
Spann's, that's the only questionable thing, right? You've seen his chin go. In fights, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I think that's the matchup to make. I think you could also even do Anthony Smith rematch.
You could do that. Absolutely, you could do that. Or if he wants to take some time off, depending on Santos's next fight, the outcome. I think if he loses, he could get Spann.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think
you give Span a big fight next after that finish. That was gorgeous. Performance of the night, no doubt.
Absolutely.
We move on to the main event. Rakic is our third lock. Arguably up 2 rounds. Some people had it 1-1. I personally had it 2-0 because of the damage accumulated. I do understand Rakic. Rakic got his block rocked in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But volume wise, even like visible damage wise, I think you give it to Rakic the first round. And dominates the second.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where Rakic blows his ACL on a regular step back, and all these Jan bettors are saying, "Oh, another great win for Jan. Glad he took him." I'm like,
it was a good fight, man.
It was going to be a great fight, but I will tell you right now, Rakic implements a wrestling game for rounds 4 and 5. I will tell you that. I will. It was coming in the third. He was finding his timing, finding his range. He was getting that lead leg chewed up. Yeah. So I think that comprehended something on I think that complimented his own leg kicks, to be honest. Because usually when you throw one, you gotta wear one to throw one to wear one, or throw one and receive one. But honestly, man, like I was kind of confused about all these Jan bettors saying like how it was a clear win for Jan on the feet.
I didn't see it. I think the power was there.
Power's there, but the power's always there for Jan.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that.
You have the first right hand from Rakic busting open the eye of Blachowicz in the first round. Like,
and now Jan's saying he has to have
eye surgery. And the doctor's like, it could be minor, it could be major. Right now we don't know. We got to get you in the hospital.
Yeah.
But for me, I think if that fight continues, Rakic finds a W.
Yeah, I think he wins by decision, man.
Yeah, and we had.
I think he goes all 5 rounds.
Yeah, we had a guy comment on our last Instagram post saying, I was like, I told him at the end of the day, Rakic should look good until he didn't.
Yeah, until he blew his leg out.
And he goes, when did he look good? He blew out his knee, did the stanky leg. I'm like, bro, that's just bro. That just tells me honestly that you've never played a sport at a high level because you have no. There's no respect for that athlete.
No.
Like that, that's something you can't control, and for me it's just straight disrespect.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, if you ever played sports, you probably had some sort of major injury.
You're watching that, dude. When we watched that in the replay, we're like, oh,
dude, it was disgusting.
Oh, it was gross.
And you feel for the man because he was one win away from a title shot.
He's in unreal shape. That was arguably the best or the biggest fight of his career, and that happens. And he came out after the fight and said, I had a similar issue in my knee 3 weeks prior in fight camp. I was praying to God that it, wasn't going to be an issue in this fight, and look what happens. It's the name of the game. He's going to be back. He calls for the rematch, which I would love to see if Jan goes on. If Jan goes on and loses, or if he even wins down the line, it doesn't even need to be each other's next fight or next 2 fights.
It'll happen again.
Oh, it has
to
to
happen again. They'll find each other again. There's no doubt.
It has to happen again. Like, dude, you're gonna tell me that you don't want to see Alexander Rakic versus what's his face? Oh, Yuri Prochaska.
That would be a great fight. Oh. There's so many great fights in that lightweight division to make. I really want to see how that Glover fight goes with.
Yeah, Yuri. I'm interested, Brad.
Because I got Glover, bro.
I was about to say, bro, I got Glover by submission again. I got Glover by submission.
Yeah, do you now? You switched your pick up a little bit?
No, I was never having Jan, bro.
No, Yuri.
Oh, Yuri.
The Yuri against Glover. That's
I thought you were
Singapore.
talking Glover.
Yeah, Glover, Yuri. That's for the title.
I'm taking Yuri in that one.
Yeah, I'm taking Glover submission, brother.
Fair enough. Like Yuri, if you get Yuri, now. Yeah.
This is right now.
This is early looks.
Yeah, this is not finalized. I've looked into this fight too much. I need to watch a lot of film before.
But at the end of the day, if you can get Yuri on his back, it's probably a sub. So it's one of those.
I know, dude. I think he might get held down. And we saw Jan get sparked by freaking Glover's hands. Like, Glover's hands aren't bad. People, man, this guy is
43, but yes.
Yeah, but this guy's in his prime right now.
Yeah, like, somehow.
You're saying he's 43, but he is in the best shape of his life, and he looks great.
Yeah, some fighters at that age kind of grow into the best form of themselves, like Andrei Arlovski. You're seeing that guy.
I wouldn't say he's in his prime now, but he looks great, though, still.
He looks great, man. It's to the point where I don't know what kind of streak he's on. Maybe 4 or 5 decision win streak, and the guy looks great. Like, the guy he goes in there and gets the job done every time.
Yeah, decision monster, right?
decision monster. He probably lost his last, but we won't talk about that one.
No, we took our loss as a lock, man, and I thought that was a wrap. I thought he lost that fight. Everyone and their mothers thought he lost that fight, but let's not go there. This next card, man, really excited for it.
Be a sleeper, man.
Really, it's a
calling
it's a
it right
sleeper.
now. Calling right now. Last 3 fights of the night. Finish. Calling it right now.
I can see it. I'm really excited to see Holly Holm back in the octagon again against Caitlyn Vieira. I think that probably will be fight of the night. If Pereira and Ponzinibbio lack a little bit of
so when I said lack a little bit of just like war mentality.
I think it's gonna depend. On Pereira, how he attacks this fight.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we know Ponzinibbio is gonna be going. Yeah. Every fight he's going.
Oh yeah, the fight against Jeff Neal was gross.
Oh, it was great.
Gross. It was a great fight. But
Pereira's last fight against Fahilio.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
And now everyone's respecting how good this guy is.
Yeah.
Because we saw 2 first-round finishes 2 weekends removed from each other from Fahilio, and obviously we backed him after that fight. Even he fought what's his name, Chris Curtis. Back in PFL, I think
Chris Curtis. Yeah.
I think it was Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
That's who flatlined Phil Hawes, right? Chris Curtis. Yeah, it was Chris Curtis.
He came into the UFC and just started putting people to sleep.
Man.
Yeah,
that guy's a killer.
Dreams.
Yeah, seriously. But a lot of entanglements with these fights. Yeah. I do think right now, before doing any film, I think Pereira squeaks out a decision.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the bet to make right now.
It's gonna be the volume in that.
Free bet for you guys right there.
Yeah, free bet.
You're welcome.
Michelle Pereira by decision.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Even though I just said last 3 fights, you see a finish. It's one of those ones.
I don't know if Ponzinibbio gets finished if Pereira's
just hit Pereira money line. There's your free bet of the podcast. If you're still tuning in, we appreciate
if you're
that.
Still here, we appreciate you.
And if you're still tuning in, that's what you'll get. Get used to it. We do sneak in some free bets
sneak
here
in some plays for you guys, but
absolutely the last 3 fights of the night. I was talking about 3 finishes. We got Dusko Todorovic taking on Chukagian Jukwani. That's gonna be fireworks, man. Both of these guys go out there and throw hands. They're very fast. The reach, bro!
God.
Wow,
It's like a
Jukwani has
that's
like a 5-inch. Oh no, 5-inch reach, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger.
It's gonna be a great fight.
Before film, probably side with Nchukwi on that one, or Jukwani on that one for sure.
I just think Todorovic sucks.
Yeah, agreed, bro.
But I do want to go watch his last fight.
Me too.
I think he actually surprised me a little bit.
He did. He found a finish, but I don't think he fought anyone decent. Like Gregory Rodriguez. Wow. Maki Pitolo.
Who's also fighting this weekend.
Eagle FC goes down on Friday. The main event in that one will be Jorgen De Castro against
Dos Santos?
Yes, Dos Santos. Yeah. Oh, 2 guys that just shouldn't be fighting anymore, man. Like it's one of those ones, but
dude, it's one of those where they get released from the UFC, you see them sign somewhere else, and it's like dog fight.
Yeah.
But fair enough, man. I'm sure they're getting paid over there. Best of luck to them.
Absolutely.
Do we ever have a sleeper card next weekend, man? If you guys have made it this far, make sure you go sign up for our picks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we are coming out with a full card sweep. We are due, brother.
We are due.
There's no doubt.
UFC 274. UFC 274. 2 bad split decisions. We got caught with the Rodriguez bad split decision, and then the Rose split decision, which not arguably the worst title fight ever. Which I don't even really care about right now that we lost the decision, because I was like, after that fight, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't even matter.
And then we got hurt by Rakic this past weekend, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So those are honestly 3 locks that I'm not gonna say should have hit, but at the end of the day, at a betting,
we're very close to hitting.
At a betting aspect, if we're losing, I'll take those.
Yeah.
Those are things you can't control at the end of the day.
Yeah,
judges' scorecards and injuries.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We're 3-3 in our last 6 proper locks. I don't remember the last time we were this low through 2 weekends. So I'm telling you, smash that link in the description. Sign up now. We're coming out. We got a lot of film planned this week, and we already see a couple locks. There's no doubt. Obviously, we're not going to mention them on here. Go smash that. But if you guys watch this whole podcast, we appreciate you. We're back, and
we are back.
I couldn't be happier.
Couldn't be happier, man.
This is awesome.
We're also going to be releasing another podcast on Friday after weigh-ins. We will also be sending out the free card of the pick as well
on that podcast. So make sure to tune in then.
Yeah, free. What did I say? Did I just say that backwards? Free pick of the card. I said free card of the pick.
Yeah, it's all good. It's an early morning.
It's Monday, baby.
It's Monday, baby.
On that note, cheers, boys.
Cheers. Thanks for tuning in.